Jennifer from Flux. Welcome back to week 4, the 4th and final week of our crochet along tutorials. This is the 2020 Flux Spring Crochet Along. I can't believe we've gone through almost the entire crochet along already. We are making the gorgeous Blue Skies Granny Tee. This is such an easy little project. If you're kind of intimidated by making garments, this is a really kind of easy one to start with. Or if you just want to make something really pretty and simple, this is definitely a project for you too. We have, so far, week 1, we talked about supplies and just kind of an intro to the project. Week 2, we learned how to make the granny squares. This is just, if you're just joining us now, this is just 2 granny squares that we've sandwiched together. Then for week 3, we learned how to seam everything in just the right places to create our neck hole, our armholes. And today, what we're going to be doing for week 4 is, let me just slide this up here. We are going to be making an extension. So we're going to give it more of a tunic profile, and we're going to add some rows to the bottom of the front of our shirt. And then we're going to add some rows to the back bottom of our shirt to create just an extended look and a little bit of a flap in the front and the back. And as you can see, because we work in rows, it gives us this little split. So when you wear it, it sort of gives with you, which is really nice. Now, this is super easy to do. It's just 5 rows down the front, 5 rows down the back, and we're going to do it stitch by stitch. So I have my H-hook, I have my yarn, and we're ready to go. Now, like I mentioned last week, this is the front. I put a little marker on it just so I know, but it is the same on both sides. I just like to remember which side is the front and back. What we're going to do is put our little extension onto the bottom of our shirt. So what we want to do is we're going to work, now you can see the corner of our granny square is here, right over here on the side, and the other side is right here. We're going to be working in rows across the front to create a little panel here. Then we're going to flip it over and work some more rows of the same thing. We're going to do some granny stripes. And what's going to happen is it's going to give us a little split here at the bottom, and that will give more ease of movement when you're wearing the shirt. Okay, so for today we just need our H-hook, some of our yarn, tapestry needle, and scissors, okay? So the first thing we want to do, the other reason too I like the stitch marker is I can just see at a quick glance where the top of it is. So we want to spin it around so that the neck hole is at the bottom. Okay. Then what we're going to do is go to the bottom of your granny square on the right hand side and locate the corner. Okay, so our corner is right here, corner where we made our granny square, and just pull a little length of yarn out. And what we're going to do is tie it into that corner space. So go in with your hook, and let me just zoom in so you can really see what I'm doing here. So I inserted my hook into that corner space of that front granny square. And we're just going to hook the new yarn on, bring it through that space, and then you're just going to tie it right on to that space. Just like that. Okay, once everything's all situated, you can put your hook back into that same space, bring up a loop, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as a double crochet. Now in the same space, work 2 double crochets. So 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. Just like that, okay? Now you're going to chain 1. You get a little bit more yarn here. Then you're going to hop over to that next space and you're going to work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, hop over to the next space, do the same thing. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. We're going to do this all the way across. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, that was 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. You can start to see our row is starting to sort of depart off the edge of our shirt. Okay, we're just again just doing this all the way across through 3 double crochet, 1, whoops, let's try that one again, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, chain 1. All right, let's slide things down a little bit so you can still see up close. Moving right across here, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, chain 1. Just slide this over a little bit more. We're almost to the home stretch here. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Just a few more left here. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, okay, now we're at the edge here. So this is the last space before we get to the corner. So once again, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now say we have the corner of our square, just go into that corner space and work 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Okay, so row 1 of our bottom edge is complete. You can see it's just starting to come off the edge here. Let's move on to row 2. Row 2 is what you'll be repeating for the rest of your edge. Now you can take it way down, you can just do a few rows, it's up to you. So for this part, for our squares earlier in our cowl, we worked in the rounds. So we sort of went around and around. This we're working back and forth in rows. So what we're going to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That counts as a double crochet, chain 1. And then in that first space, you'll want to work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and chain 1. So if we look at our edge, it's starting to build a little bit of height here. Okay, so next hop over to the next space, and we're just going to do this in each space across. So I'm going to go ahead and work in each space across, and when we get almost to the end of the row, we'll rejoin and I'll show you how to finish up the row. Okay, so just like that, and then work 3 double crochet, chain 1 all the way across in each one of these spaces. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, so just keep working across. Just coming up to the end of row 2 of our edge here. So I'm just working 3 double crochets in that last space. Then we're going to chain 1. And then what we want to do is work just 1 double crochet. Remember at the beginning of the last row we did that chain 3 and turned. At that topmost chain we're going to work a double crochet, and you might need to kind of wiggle your hook in there a little bit to get it in there, but just take your time with it. Just kind of work it in there and work your double. Wrap yarn around hook. I didn't wrap my yarn around hook, I just went right in there, and then work your double crochet in that topmost chain just like that to finish off the row. Let's move on to row 3. Now, if you are getting the length that you want, you can really stop at any time, but I wanted mine to have a little bit more length on it. So go work a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn. Then in this very first space here, you're going to work 2 double crochets. That chain 3 we just did counts as a double crochet, so you only need 2 this time. Whoops, let me just back up. I had a couple extra wraps there. So work 2 double crochets in that first chain, 1 and 2. And that chain 3 with these 2 double crochets mimics the look of that 3 double crochet cluster. So work a chain 1, and then you're just going to do the same thing we've been doing. Work 3 double crochet in each space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Next space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then just do that all the way across. And then once again, we'll rejoin towards the end of this row, and I'll show you how to finish off row 3, and we'll move on to row 4. Coming up to the end of row 3, just working our 3 double crochet, chain 1 in that last space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we just have a space at the end here, so we're going to work 3 double crochets in that last space of the row to finish up row 3. So that's, whoops, 1, 2, and 3. And then row 3 is completed. So we're starting to get some nice length on here. Let's move on to row 4. So for row 4, we're going to chain 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn your work. So that counts as a double crochet, chain 1, and then in that first space we're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, next space, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. So just work your 3 double crochet, chain 1 in every space all the way across, and then once again we'll rejoin towards the end of row 4. Great, we are coming up to the end of the row here, row 4. We're just working 3 double crochet in that very last space of the row. Again, this is row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, row 4. And then we're going to chain 1, and the last thing you'll need to do is just work a double crochet in the topmost chain of that turning chain from the previous row. So just work a double crochet right into that topmost chain. And now we're ready to move on to row 5. So what we want to do for row 5 is to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work again. Now we have some nice length on our edge here, and if you want to keep going, you can. But what we're going to do is make this our last row of our edge. So in this first space, work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, and then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to work 3 double crochets in that first space, or that next space rather, that you come to. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then you're going to do that in every space all the way across. So once again, let's continue across, and then when we get towards the end of row 5, we'll rejoin and finish it off. Just coming up to the end of row 5, and that's 3 double crochet in that space, chain 1, and then that last space that you come to, or that you did that turning chain in the previous row, just work 3 double crochet, and then you're all done. Now I do have, if you want to extend this and make this longer than 5 rows, I do have some instructions on the blog, so you can click the link and hop on over there if you do want to change this. But we're going to stick to the 5 rows. So what we're going to do next is grab your scissors and give your yarn a trim and wrap the yarn around the hook to fasten off and pull it through. And then what we can do, let's get these ends woven in so we can look at our handiwork. Now we have a definite inside and an outside too of this. So we want to thread our tapestry needle, just like that, and then go in the inside of our shirt and go just in those inside back loops, just like that. And I like to go in both directions, so take it in one direction, come back in the other direction with your needle. Give that a little snip. That is done. But where we started, there it is. Where we started, we also have a little tail to take care of. Now we're going to be repeating this entire process on the back part of the shirt as well to do our other sort of tunic edge, I guess we could call it. So we're just going to get this last end woven in, go in one direction, come back in the other direction with that tail. And snip. Okay. Let's now look at and admire our handiwork. So once again, I have my stitch marker, so this has been designated to be the front. It is totally reversible though. Okay, so if we get everything nice and straightened out, straighten out the rows you just worked on, you can see we now have a little extension. Well, actually you can't see that because I didn't slide it up far enough. Let's look at that again. Here, I'm going to fold this so we can see it. Now we can see it. So you can see we have this little extension. Okay, so here's the little flap, front flap, I guess you could say, of our shirt. Now, I'm going to get you started with the back, and then you can just repeat this part. So just back up to the beginning of the tutorial where we did row 1, we went through row 2, 3, 4, 5 all together. Again, if you want to keep going beyond row 5, hop on over to the blog. I do have instructions on how to do that. Flip your shirt over. Now I'm doing the back now. You could do the back first. It's not really important. Grab your yarn. And remember, we're going to spin this around so it's up at the top. And now go over to your right to this corner, because when we work our rows, we work from right to left when we go across. So we're going to start up here at the upper right corner. And we started at the corner of our other square on the other side. So locate the corner space of this square on this side. Insert your needle, your hook. I was just using a tapestry needle, so I guess I'm thinking about my tapestry needle. Hook the new yarn right on and pull it through that corner space. Okay, we're just doing the same thing we did to start the row on the other side. I'm just gonna give you a quickie little refresher. Okay, now we're just tying that right into that corner space. We're just gonna sort of let go of the tail and not worry about it right now. And now you can just insert your hook back into that corner space, bring up a loop, and you're ready to work row 1 again. So just back up the video if you need to, or refer to the written pattern on the blog and work rows 1 through 5 on this side as well, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and work my rows 1 through 5, and when we rejoin, we're gonna finish this entire shirt right up, and it's gonna look super fabulous. So go ahead and do rows 1 through 5. Just repeat the exact same thing we just did. If you need to back up the video and rewatch it as many times as needed, feel free to do that. So we will rejoin in just a moment when we have this side done as well. All right, I went ahead and worked the back flap portion, rows 1 through 5 on the back part as well. So now we have a front and a back, and if you see the side view, actually I have a little tail here. Let me just give that a little sniff while I'm noticing it there. But if you look at the side view, it makes this nice little split, so when you wear it, it just kind of gives with you and gives you a little bit more movement. So it looks great. Our Blue Skies Granny Tee is complete. We have the fabulous neck hole, we have the armholes, and they give you just a little bit of like a cap flutter sleeve when you wear it. And then we have the bottom part with the opening at the bottom where we've created a little bit of an extension. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this stitch marker. Now I cannot wait to see, I've seen some work in progress. I can't wait to see all your finished garments. I know they're all going to be so fabulous and beautiful, and definitely share all those. Please join the Ravelry group and our Facebook Crochet Along group to connect with other makers working on this project. It's a wonderful, positive place where you can connect with other people. And also on social media, be sure and share your work using the hashtag FiberFluxCal, and also tag me. And a lot of times I share people's work on my Instagram stories. So that's it. Anytime you need to go back, if you want to make another one of these, if you're not quite ready to make it, these videos will be up forever. You can go through them all at your own pace. So be sure to share those photos, and I'm so glad you joined me on this. Next week, we are going to have the big reveal. So I'll have all the finished photos of all this, and I can't wait to see yours as well. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest FiberFlux video updates. Thanks again.